Today, we're going to face the facts and break down and analyze Hex. Now, I feel really bad for some people out there in this world, okay, who are constantly asking me, what about Hex? What about Hex? What about Hex? When, it's pretty clear if I'm predicting and I'm calling for the Bitcoin dump, right? We were just at 41K in Bitcoin before I called the dump down to 30K, right? And so it's pretty damn clear. If I'm calling for a mega dump on Bitcoin, what the hell do you think Hex is going to do in the meantime, right? I know we've seen in the past that, Hex can go up while Bitcoin's going down, but that has not been the case for the last 6 months now. So for people to be so stupid and say, what about Hex? What about Hex? Okay, you guys need to get a fucking brain. Okay, it's sad. Stop asking when we're in the middle of one of the nastiest market crashes. You're asking, what about Hex? What about Hex? Okay, Hex is gonna fall just like the rest of the coins out there. So, if you don't understand that, you are an idiot. Okay, sorry. But today we're gonna face the number one fact that no one wants to face. It's adoption since launch. And you can see the green line at lookintohex.com. This is the adoption of Ethereum. Okay, you can see that the adoption of Hex is literally flat. Okay, for the last 700 days, there's almost no adoption. Okay, we've went in 700 days. We've went from right here, Hex current holders. We've went from 176,000 Hex holders, okay, to 300,000 Hex holders. Okay. Now, in that same time frame, Ethereum went from, you can see here, 38,000 to that same time frame, 23 million. Okay? And so if you think that Hex is going to continue to outperform Ethereum or Bitcoin with this stagnant adoption, you are wrong. It will not. But here's the thing. It just shows, okay, that if Hex price has done this well in relation to, okay, Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? If we look at the ROI from launch chart, okay, the fact that Hex has this much less adoption, yet it has very similar price appreciation, to me that shows it's designed for price performance. But guess what? Just because it's designed for price performance, if you don't have any adoption, the price is going to go nowhere. So yes, if you had the amount of users from Ethereum and Bitcoin come over to Hex, this would be ridiculous. But that's just not the case. And so with zero adoption, I think you're going to see this ROI from launch start to, not keep up with Bitcoin and Ethereum in the longer term here. Now, if that changes, right, if we can start to see adoption shift, then, of course, I think Hex would outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum, okay? Because you can see with way less adoption, it's still performing just as good as Ethereum almost at the same time since launch, right? And so think about it. It has so much less users, so much less adoption, yet it has almost identical, okay, performance. So that speaks to the design of Hex and how effective it is. But guess what? No new users, no adoption. The game kind of ends. Okay, you need new users. So once again, this speaks to how effective the design of Hex is, but with, once again, the adoption non-existent here, okay, some of you need to realize that and face the facts that are right here in front of you, okay? And so once again, when I say the market is going to crash further, when Bitcoin was just at 41K and I told you I'm calling for a mega dump down to 30K, and you still got people saying, what about Hex? What about Hex? You're a fucking moron, okay? So that's my update on Hex for you. These are the 3 support levels I'd be looking at on Hex here. Okay, right here. These are my targets on Hex. 8 cents, a little bit under 2 cents, and under a penny, okay? So these are my 3 targets on Hex. And here's the thing. I think it would take quite a bit of time to ever reach these targets. Why? Because so many people are staked. Remember, Hex is designed to be, an incredible performer. And so that's how we can see, even with so much less adoption, it's still performing almost exactly as Ethereum since the launch, right? So without new adoption, eventually I think you come down to here. But that's the thing, right? Let's say the next bull run comes around. Let's say RH blows up more, right? Then you can have that adoption. But if adoption continues to stagnate like this, then I think it's just going to be a overall this is not speaking negatively against Hex. It's the same with any coin. If there's no adoption, who's going to come in and buy next? Where's this thing going to go next? Nowhere, right? So without adoption, there's not going to be any more, there's not going to be explosive price appreciation. And so if adoption continues to stay stagnant, then I think it's going to be a long time before price just overall comes down and down and down and down and down. Okay, but once again, that's saying that adoption is going to continue to stay flat forever and ever, right? Then yes, I think that's what happens. But if adoption picks up, then these are your buy targets. Okay, so yes, I replied to this. I said, look, I love Hex because it's designed extremely well. It's designed for price performance, but at the same time, okay, I don't hodl through periods of negative returns like a bunch of idiots. Okay, now if you stake your Hex and you find that offensive, just realize I'm a trader. And just like you, a lot of people think traders are stupid. Well, I can think hodling is stupid. I think hodling through periods of negative returns is pretty stupid. Okay, because all this time we've been making money shorting Bitcoin, shorting shit, and you just hodl through it. So do whatever you want, right? Everyone has their own opinions. I tell you brutally and truthfully my opinion on this, right? I think Hex is designed incredibly, but if the world doesn't see that, and if the world doesn't like it, if the world doesn't feel attracted to come and play the game here, then what can you do, right? So that's my take on Hex. That's why I said look at the facts. Adoption chart versus ETH. There's zero Hex adoption. And as long as that's the case, why would you expect price to explode, right? It's not going to be explosive. Okay, can it pump 2x, 3x for Pulse Chain? Maybe. Probably not in the bear market while Bitcoin's going down to 20K right now, So that's my update on Hex. That's my brutal, honest opinion and breakdown. Maybe some people will be a little annoyed, but I don't think you should be annoyed or mad at me about that. I'm telling you the truth. No adoption, no explosive growth. Okay, but even with this, like I said, look at the adoption in Hex compared to ETH. Yet the price performance is still relatively the same. Like that just speaks to how well Hex is designed. But once again, no adoption, no explosive price growth. Okay, but maybe it could be a 3-4 year bear market before things change. Something happens, right? These are kind of unpredictable things. So whatever you think. What I'm going to do, I'm going to follow the charts. I'm not going to bag hold from here down to here. You guys know I literally sold at 32 cents, okay? And guess what? Now, if I bag held, right, I called the bottom at 5. So the bottom was 12 cents. I called it when it was 15 cents, and we quickly pumped up 140%. I didn't sell the exact top at 35 cents. I sold at 32 cents. I don't want to fucking bag hold, okay? And just fucking sit through 150 days of only down price action. And by the way, my bottom call is not the bottom anymore. So that's called being effective. That's called buying in. Okay, price goes overextends in a short period of time. And guess what? It's the Pulse X sacrifice phase. And if you studied Pulse Chain sacrifice phase, I think it was down here somewhere, it was also the top. As soon as the sacrifice phase began, it was the top. So as soon as the Pulse X sacrifice phase began, it was also the top. So don't hate the player, hate the game, or whatever the fuck it's called, or whatever the saying is, okay? So I played it well, and if you're salt, if you're jealous, and you don't like that I played it better than you, and you don't like that you're bag holding, then go find another channel to watch, okay? But I played it well, and I played it so that I don't have to sit through 150 days of bear market. So guys, I know this may sound brutal. I know, some or maybe will bash me and say, oh, shut up and stake, shut up and stake. Okay, if that's what you want to do, no one's stopping you. Hold through 150 days of bear market that you could have been making money, but your money's locked up. That's opportunity cost. Okay, and hope that hex adoption picks back up. But guess what? I'm not going to sit through waiting for hex adoption to pick back up. If I notice a shift, if I notice a tide change, that's when I would want to really get back in. Okay? So that's my analysis on hex. I hope this helps you. And whether you like it or not, it's the brutal, honest truth that I think everyone deserves, whether you like it or not. So guys, drop a like on this video if you haven't already. Make sure you are subscribed. And if you find this video offensive, if you are, feeling, you don't like it that I tell you, look, I'm not going to bag hold, I'm not going to stake. Like I have a $1,000 stake for 5555, right? But I'm not going to go stake my whole net worth in that. And if that's what you want to do, good luck, okay? But don't force other people to do these things, okay? Everyone chooses for themselves. And clearly what I've chosen has worked pretty damn well for me. So I'm going to continue to do what I do. And you can continue to push your beliefs on people. I'm not here to push beliefs on anyone. I'm here to show the facts, show the truth, and let you decide for yourself. Guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.